Hello, welcome to New Paradigm Beings. This is Jasmine, and I'm coming to you with our Fall Equinox Twin Flame reading for 2018. I'm really excited to see what comes out for us today. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. Okay. I might do things a little differently today because I really want to, I feel like this reading's going to be more thorough than I expected it to be. Yeah, I can't wait to see what Spirit does today. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are really enjoying this approach to fall. I can already feel the spirits of the ancestors and our family members and everything that is coming up to the surface again. The things and people we miss and the memories, the pumpkin patches and the coolness and the sweaters and the children, the haystacks. If you can go ahead and feel into that, feel your guides and angels. Wow. Okay. Okay, so per usual, the left side usually indicates the feminine integration, and the right side usually indicates the masculine integration, but I'm not super strict as to how the message wants to play out so that it is most clear for everyone's understanding. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, so right off the bat, this is what I get. I get the Eight of Stones skill. This card has been pretty adamant lately, and I feel this for the Divine Feminine because a lot of us are really stepping into our own work, our independent work, our independent travels and victories. That's just a very straight up card. Like there's no really dancing around it. We have really started to just completely pull our own weight. Like there's no way that we're not going to eat, not going to be clothed, and not going to be sheltered. We have succeeded with that, and quite an easier feat versus what the old earth would have had us think about the worthiness of our work and whether or not we're actually able to feed ourselves. Okay, so that's very blunt and straightforward. As for the masculine side, we have the breath of life, the Ace of Arrows. The breath of life kind of reminds me of when like Adam had his breath put into him by the Almighty, and it kind of began the journey across the earth. I believe that this card is representing the focus of the divine masculine. I really do believe that and also let me pause here. Feel free to go back to my old video, the Equinox general reading, to get like if you want like a more global perspective. It's a good supplemental video, but of course, like this is a video that's really diving deep into the divine masculine and feminine, especially for romantic counterparts who are twin flames and etc. So yeah, getting back to this card. This represents the masculine's focus as to where he is supposed to be dynamic in his existence on this plane. Okay, like being quite serious about where he puts his energy. This arrow is just like the masculine energy. It's linear, it's straight, it's like the number one, it's like the penis. It's vertical. It's just like, this is exactly what the divine masculine is being serious about. He is being serious about where he sticks himself in many different ways. Like, you can think about that in any way you want, whether sexually, logically, spiritually, physically, intellectually. Like, he's existentially. There we go. He's being very existential with his focus now. Whew, that feels good. All right. Okay. All right, we have the Ten of Vessels, happiness. Honestly, right off the bat, you guys keep it up. Like, all my women, all the divine feminine out there, keep it up. I know that, like, a lot of us we may be dealing with ennui or boredom, or even like little small addictions, like food and alcohol addictions that try to sneak their way in. But it's okay. Like, take your time, but take baby steps if you need to take baby steps. Don't over it weighs on your emotions when you put too many expectations in your head, because then, like, you drain yourself of the energy to do what you really want to do. I have been dealing with all of that, like the ennui and the, okay, I'll just watch one more video and then I'll get up and do my reading. And then it just turns into a cycle. And I was like, I can take this baby step by baby step. Like, I can, and that's different for everybody. Like, do one thing at a time. If you need to clean your room, start with like 5 shoes, come back to it, save some more things, put away your hair products. There's, I got myself up to come here and do this reading. And it came from not being very hard on myself, because I know what can be done if I allow the divine to do that, and it flows through me naturally. And then you'll realize that as you just get the wheel turning a little bit, you don't have to go 0 to 100. That's the adrenaline craziness that you usually see on commercials. So they'll take you to from 0 to 100. Let's go, let's go, let's go. No, that's how you hurt yourself. Take it one number at a freaking time. Like the water mills, like you get the wheels turning, and then once you have everything turning, the water on the mill helps the mill to keep, or the wheel and the water have a shared motion together. Okay, so think of that. Okay. Happiness is not something that it's something that's always there. It's something that you don't have to really like limit yourself to, or even subsidize. That's the word I'm looking at. It's not something you have to subsidize. You have to take things at your own pace. Okay, women. All right, and for my divine masculine. Okay, I have the 6 of Stones. Exploitation. Okay, that's an interesting card. I'm kind of feeling that the divine masculine feel that wherever they, whatever tail end situation that they're still in, or wherever location, program, you name it, I don't believe that they're feeling like that's a substantial there's any substantial gain for them in that old position any longer. It feels like they've kind of used up all that they've needed from that situation. Could be a relationship or a job or a career move. And this is saying that they're just ready to go. They've learned their lessons. They've gotten what they've needed from that part of the clock, so to speak. And I'll pull a little bit more to so we can have a little more clarity. Okay, so he's moving on up. He's taken his bearings and moved to another, yeah, see? He's moving upward, outward, upward, out of his own responsibility. To a new abundant plane. Somewhere where there is, it's a new beginning. It's a new start, a new slate. Okay. And and taking that responsibility, just as the woman applies her skills and gains happiness, therefore, just like his path is more linear, more dynamic, and of the masculine consistency, he then achieves his joy. All right. So that's what's going on there. I'm going to leave these to the side. Okay. So you can see how this is aligning with itself. The women are taking care of their emotions, their rest, their divine feminine energy. And the masculine is being taking care of his side of the energy, his side of the spectrum. And we're doing it to honor our how we are supposed to perform in where we're at home in our energy. You can see how we're working with what we are and not how we're told to. How we're operating now is more spirit filled and not commercial filled, which is great to see, even for those of us who are not in contact, if you know what I mean. My twin and I haven't been in contact for well over a year or so, but I can feel all of that. Like I feel that's the blessing as well. Just to have that knowing. And I read so that I can communicate and facilitate for other listeners as well. All right. Okay. All right, so we have our friendly neighborhood fox. This is the Knight of Bows. The Knight of Bows. We have a masculine cunning energy here. And then we have, well, it's kind of, there's like a swap between these two energies. This is the Knight of Vessels. So we have fire and water, which are complement, or, you know, they're divine, they're opposing elements that represent the feminine and the masculine, respectively. However, if you can think of the dot that's within the yin-yang, we're opposing, but we're complementary at the same time. When I see the eel, I know that this is, well, a knight is someone that is masculine. However, the eel is actually, it's kind of the eel here is a bit of a masculine creature, but it moves and inhabits a feminine environment. It moves like the water. It's fluid, um, and it's kind of representing the masculine being balanced enough with his feminine that he can come in and be like, oh wow, yeah, I feel that. I feel my feminine right there. I feel her. I feel where she does help me and keep me centered, like that little whisper that's within me. That's what they're able to remember that. And that's really coming into balance for us as well. And usually it's the feminine that or I won't say all the time, but sometimes it's the feminine that catches on to that first. I feel that the fox is also our version of kind of like the sunny masculine that's within us that gives us that smile and that encouragement to keep going. Okay. Being able to be out in the world without a pimp or or being an escort or something like that. That we're just able to kind of just go out, smile at the sun, and feel protected. Okay. Let's see what we have up here. Oh, look at this. This is a very balanced reading. We have the Ten of Stones. So at the top of the reading, we have home. This is the domestic center of the marriage. You have the divine masculine and the divine feminine carved onto the stone. And they're in their hut raising their family and raising their garden. It's like the portal. It really is like a union portal. And being balanced is what, being in that balance and that trust is actually what that's actually what encourages that happy home, that bliss, or that thing, like that. It seems like perfection. They call it the bubble, like the happy bubble, but except it's not a bubble. It really is. It really is the love nest. It's like that eternal love nest that we're able to really make sure that we build within ourselves before we even consider looking or waiting for a partner. I feel that's an amazing thing. I'm going to pull a few more cards to elaborate on the home. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll shuffle a little bit more. Shuffle these back into the deck. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, let's see what's next to the home. Hello. Okay. All right, so we have the shaman. Shaman is right underneath the home. This I know for a fact is it's proof for us that like this is handled, like everything to do with union is, or reunion, you know what I mean, the physical reunion. all of that is held in the hands of the divine, like divine timing, the higher self. All of that is under control. The angels are our friends. It's something that we don't have to fret about. We can go to bed. The divine is saying that we can go to bed peacefully and not worry about stray bullets flying into our bedroom, basically. Some of you may be able to humorously relate to that. Just funny, isn't it? Okay. All right, so at the bottom of the deck we have challenge and exploitation. Okay, we've already seen exploitation. It popped out again. I no longer feel that these I feel that these options, and that's why I call them options, like we can choose to stay in a state of lack, or we can choose to stay in a state of conflict. I feel that these options have been conquered. We don't have to keep choosing, whether it's, even if it's in the house or at the workplace, in relationships in general. We don't have to do all this. You know, this is over with. This is, in the mental space and the physical space, this is so over with. We're so over it. This is conquered. These little petty fights between the masculine and feminine, and or the world, like any character in the world. This is over with. This is done. This is dead. Or even with yourself. Even with yourself, that's over with. The insecurities are over with. Being short of breath because you're anxious, that's over with. Okay. And of course, with that, the lack of security in the self, faith in the self, faith in one's abilities, the victim mentality, the woe is me mentality, not respecting or not accepting the skills that you were born with to bring about abundance on the planet. So the lack and the divide and conquer mentalities are done. That's what that says. Okay. Now I'm going to move into the chakra energy cards. Okay. To give us our ending oracle reading. Okay, I intend to pull 2 of these cards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. All right, so we have the auric field of the spiritual body. That says number 22. I allow myself to now and forever feel the healing presence of God. Okay, we're going to read what that has to say. The highest form of meditation. Feel God. How? With your thoughts, your faculty of perception, always continue to go further in the direction of freedom and expansiveness of the creative force's light. You will soon be able to feel it with increasing clarity. Stay with this perception and create the space within yourself for this healing encounter with the source of all life to be effective. Simply wish it for yourself and be certain that you will be given more than you can imagine. Ask and it shall be given to you. This does not necessarily apply to a well-endowed bank account and a red Ferrari, but it does to the development of your personality. Okay. In your meditations, amethyst and dolomite help a lot with being able to feel holy presence, the fragrant essence of neroli, and the flower of cherry plum. Okay, and here it says, secondary chakra yin. I gratefully and attentively live my motherliness. Okay, all right. 79. Motherliness. This means a sense of security, warmth, caring, nourishing, and healing, and much more. Whether you have a child or not is irrelevant. Every being can give you something important if you care for it from your motherliness. This also applies to yourself. You can also develop this quality more easily if you send energy to the part that is responsible for it, your inner mother. Through the distance treatment of Reiki 2, say to it, Inner Mother, your first and last name, of your first and last name. This affirmation often points to the necessity of taking better care of yourself or those close to you, as well as healing negative ideas about motherliness. The healing stone for this, being close to your divine feminine or your motherly inward energy, is malachite, snow quartz, the fragrant essence of peppermint, and the flower of acrimony. All right. All right, that concludes our reading for Twin Flames of the Fall Equinox. Fall Equinox 2013. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful time. Wonderful time. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll have more videos posted about new and exciting things. So everyone enjoy the rest of their week. And I'll leave my details in the description. Love you much. Bye-bye.